Hey everybody, Cowboy here. We take a look at Bitcoin after the big dump yesterday. And as a matter of fact, I called it. And if you look at yesterday's live video, you will see me call it. And then, of course, today we're going to review what happened there. And we're going to talk about what I think will happen in the months and weeks to come. We got the website at the bottom of the screen if you want to go check us out or zap that QR code. And if you stick around after the end of the video, you will see more about how to find us and what we do. Enjoy. This I called out yesterday. The arrow that I drew yesterday. Okay, that's pretty accurate. Of course, we had a big liquidity dip. And if you look at my videos over the past like 2 months, you'll see that I've had this 26,000 range that I said price would kind of stab to, and a little bit lower than that. And I was using the Kingfisher. We'll look at that today again. But I've done this at least once a week for the past several months. I said price was going to stab down into that 26,000 range or lower, and as low as 22,000, and it might still go there. But long story short, I said this was going to happen. Very likely. I never said absolutely because I never absolutely anything, but I said this was going to happen most likely. And look, I mean, yesterday, look at this. You don't get much more accurate than this. Look where price is right now. Price stepped down, quickly recoiled back up to where it's kind of in a prior, range, if you will. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty darn accurate. Look where it is right now. Look where the arrow is going to move up. So aside from that liquidity dip right there, this call is pretty much perfect. If somebody went short right there, they would have won. Okay. So just letting you know. It's right there for you, right there to look at. Go look at yesterday's show. That's that. Now, here's the thing that we're being told. Okay. We're being told, oh, well, what do you call it? Elon Musk sold all of his Bitcoin and, from SpaceX. Okay, first of all, unless I'm mistaken, and V, you can clue me in on this if you know what's going on with that. That particular deal, and just about any deal like it's going to be done on an OTC. Over-the-counter type situation. Elon and SpaceX are not going to sell, however many. I don't know what the amount of Bitcoin it was. I didn't even read the article because I don't give a flying fig Newton. But basically, I don't care about the news, people, in case you couldn't tell. Like, the news is just noise, as far as I'm concerned, for the most part. You're going to have some things that are not noise, but this kind of thing that you're looking at on the screen, when news is associated with it, there's a decent chance that the news is just noise. And if it was like 50,000 Bitcoin or whatever the number was, there's a really good chance that basically, they would have done that kind of sale. I would bet folding money that was done on an OTC, situation. Right? They're not taking that money, putting it on some exchange and selling it all at once and knocking the price down. It's not very likely that they're doing that. It's possible. I think when Elon initially bought his first Bitcoin for Tesla, they actually did that. They did, what do you call it? They did put it on an exchange and buy it, and they did it slowly. So it didn't really affect price or something like that. But then, you had all of a sudden around 33,000 in 2021, whenever it was, Tesla's buying Bitcoin and it's going to go up. No, the price was going to go up anyway. The news agencies just need something to sell. They want to make themselves relevant. So they're going to give you a story about, Bitcoin went up because this. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, they always got to have something to sell. Well, I got to mute Telegram. Give me a second here. How do I do that? Settings. I'm hearing all these bling, bling, blings. Okay, notification and sounds. Let's go ahead and no sound. Save. Sorry about that, people. Just had to stop those interruptions. So yeah, I mean, okay, guys, I got 2 computers running, so let me shut that one too. Sorry, everybody. So I don't really care what the news says, and you can tell just yesterday when I told everybody that the chart looked ripe for a dip and it could possibly happen very quickly, that I was pretty much planning on that as I drew. That drawing that you see on there is unchanged, right? So keep that in mind next time you hear some story about someone doing this and doing that and selling this and selling that. And I'll give you another example from 2019 in August. And I have that singed into my memory because I was still new to the game. Okay. And also I was trading a kind of a big account, and there was a whole dramatic situation that went along with that. If you ever are trading someone else's money, make sure, and this is like pretty good idea. It's not advice, but if I'm ever trading someone else's money again, I am not going to allow anybody else to be like making decisions. So I'm the only trader. No one is going to like give me any freaking input into the trades, because that wasn't the case, and that just made for a nightmare scenario. But August, right? You had the Xi pump, the Xi Jinping pump, right?
Yeah.
So Xi was like, Bitcoin's good or whatever he said, and you had this massive move from March all the way to what is this, June, right? And I remember like being there for this, and I think the G pump was like the last bit of it. So what happened after that though was a very obvious bearish formation. Okay, so if you look here, what you're seeing is an ascending. Now most of these are going to be this is a reversal pattern, right? So this is a descending bearish triangle. Now in crypto though, and in other markets, these still can be reversals and very, very tradable. Okay, because the price action is what matters. Not so much whether it's a reversal, not so much whether it's a continuation, but the price action matters. And we'll get into the price action. But this right here, this triangle tells you price is going to dump, right? So I remember I was actually at a wedding. I was at my cousin's wedding, way out in Joshua Tree, right? This is how, what happens as a trader is you remember like what you were doing when you took the trade. And I had my laptop in the car, and I was on cellular internet, and I took a short, and I took it right here. And I remember we were in Watch Us Trade, I think at that time. Might have been what was after that, but it might have been the Sharp Snipers. Either way, I told everybody I'm shorting here, and there was another smart guy in there who was like, no, it's gonna go up, and I'm like, no, it's not, because I had an algo that told me it was gonna go down. Plus I had this triangle, this big giant triangle saying it was gonna go down. So price went ahead, and right about here is when it went down, right about this area. So this was actually in like September, mid to late September. And I was in my truck outside the wedding, like outside of the reception, making this trade. Because that's what kind of person I am. I'm at my cousin's wedding, and I'm in the truck making a trade on cellular internet. I'm here to make money, people. I don't mess around, dude. So, and I did. I shorted the shit out of this thing. And so the next thing you know, you get this news about Plus Token. Oh, well, the price went down because Plus Token guys dumped their money on the market. No, price went down. I'm going to become Jim Willie. I'm going to do it right now. Price went down because it was going to fucking go down. It had nothing to do with Plus Token.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was, dude, it was going to go down. And it was painfully obvious to anybody who knows anything about TA. Plus I had an algorithm that really was a basic B algorithm. But it worked great when it worked. And that was going to go down. So, but you hear about Plus Token. I remember the article Plus Token. All right, so that was then. Now we can flash forward to 2021. You have the COVID crash. Now this one in 2020, the COVID crash, that one is where I would say the macro affected it, right? The entire market took a fat dump right here due to COVID. That is the kind of news, if you will. That's the kind of event that can drive market. It's got to be something that big that can drive a well, at that time, I don't know if it was $1 trillion market yet or not. I think it was, but it might have been 800 billion, whatever it is. You can, basically TradFi went down. TradFi being, traditional finance, being, what do you call it? Stocks, bonds, your typical stuff, non-crypto. And people had to liquidate their crypto positions just to cover everything. Everything went down. Look, Bitcoin is not a short-term safe haven yet. It hasn't proven itself. So thinking that you're in Bitcoin and Bitcoin's not going to fall when the rest of the market does. I was saying that before this happened. This is just another confirmation that I was correct in that assumption. It was not just an assumption. I was looking at data. But long story short, it came back up. And I think it was, where is it? we're right around 30,000. Here it was right about here where Elon, Tesla bought Bitcoin, and it was probably right about here. We could even look up the news article just to test ourselves. Let me see if I can find it. Tesla buys Bitcoin 2021. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I'm going to see if I can. Okay, here it is. That was in February. So Tesla buys 1.5 billion in Bitcoin, February of 2021. Well, look at this. Look at that. What's the date here, people? How good is my memory? Can somebody give me a freaking... Can I have a witness up in here? Look at this. See how I put that line? See the date in the bottom? Oh, I haven't zoomed this in. Let's zoom it in. Okay. Look, I got to toot my own horn here because if you're a trader, you got to know your shit. I can show you I know my shit because look at this date, 1 February 2021. I put my arrow actually on a couple of days before that. I put my arrow on January 31st, right? So here's the article. Let me bring it up. Maximize. Zoom in. Look at this. Tesla buys 1.5 billion in Bitcoin, plans to accept his payment. What's the date on this? CNBC 2021, February 8th, February 7th, right? So I just showed you it was actually right. I said right here, I put the arrow there. I didn't even try to get too exact, but the date was actually right here. So this is where Tesla, basically where I said it, and that's where so Tesla buys, but no, look, people, the price was going to go up anyway, right? It was going to go up anyway. This is a let me see, when was the halving? 2020. So this was a post-halving year. This was you get the halving, right? Halving in the 2020, I think it was, because what is it, 2024, 2020? And then you have your crazy year, right? So halving in May, crazy year 2021, ATH April 2021. So we're probably looking at an ATH, again, anywhere between, I would venture to guess, it'll be 2025, mid 2025. You'll probably see another ATH. So look, but the news, this was going up anyway. The 4-year cycle, okay? So this news about, Elon, first everybody was like, because I'm, talking to guys in the meme coin space, why is gas so high? Because Ethereum dumped. Why did Ethereum dump? Because Evergrande over in China is scaring everybody. And then the story morphed from Evergrande to SpaceX selling all their Bitcoin. And Elon's rugging everybody. Rug meaning rug pull. Elon's rugging everybody.
Wait, Bitcoin? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, SpaceX Bitcoin. Yeah, right. Good.
Yeah. SpaceX supposedly. It's none of that. It's just, maybe SpaceX reacted to what was going to happen. Maybe the plan was to crush Bitcoin, but just to wait until it was ready to go down and maybe have an extra catalyst to scare the public. Look, I'm not even going to, get too far into that, but I can tell you that whether or not the actions of Elon had any effect on this move, it was going to happen anyway. And if you're a smart trader, or if you, like Elon, probably pay a lot of smart traders, then okay, so the ATA was all-time high was actually November of 2021. Either way, though, if you're a smart trader or if you're like Elon and you can afford to pay smart traders, they're going to have an idea of when things are going to happen, and they're going to make moves according to that. And if you have data that says price is probably going to go down, you're probably going to sell all your Bitcoin, right? And you're probably going to buy it back when it's lower. They could have sold right here at 29,000 or whatever, and then bought it back up at 26 and made themselves, 10%? Easily.
Yeah.
They could have done that, or they might. Look, it went all the way down to 25, and there's a decent probability. I have 22 as my highest bottom. I think price has more to go down. I have 22 as sort of not my highest bottom, but kind of my more likely bottom is around 22,000. I think it's going to slowly make its way there. Not slowly, that wasn't very slow, but I think it's going to make its way there over the next couple months. And I think September and October are some pretty sus months to see that happen. We might see price go back up. And let's take a quick look at Kingfisher just to see where the liquidity is on Bitcoin. Okay, like yesterday, it was mostly, okay, now it's at 28.7. It was closer to 30. I'm imagining a lot of those shorts took profit and took the liquidity off the market, but a lot of liquidity is still hanging out in the 28.5 to 29.5 range. So that's where I'm expecting price to. Now, look, it might not happen, but there's a decent chance price is going to hang out, most likely, knowing Bitcoin, price is going to hang out in this area. And where's my path here? It's going to hang out in this area, do some things, right? Maybe make its way back up, touch that liquidity. Might happen sooner than what I just said, but it might also just range, even dip a little lower, dip a little higher, whatever, and then make its way up here. And then for the final descent, right? Something like that. That's extremely possible what I just charted right there. So you heard it here first. This kind of chart looks pretty realistic right now. So that's what the next move is. So look, everybody, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're flapping your gums about the news, oh, well, Elon this and this, plus token that, and Evergrande this. And by the way, V, do you think Evergrande is like going to sink China? Because I don't.
No, not at all. And dude, when this whole Evergrande bullshit started, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I told everybody it's a nothing burger.
That's what I said too.
What happened? Yeah.
Dude, China has a physical economy. Like they have the ability to withstand.
Exactly. And that's the thing that Western pronunciators and those who are so used to Western finance or this rentier economy that we're living in don't seem to grasp. They think the problem with us, when we analyze the world for most Americans and Western analysts, they look at the world from their own lens. These are people, Cowboy, that never grew up in an industrial country with an industrial production, with a physical economy. They grew up in the fire economy. So when they see Evergrande, they think that Evergrande is a systemic risk, like systemic risk that Western governments create every single day by money printing and all sorts of fraudulent financial instruments. They don't understand it can't be, you cannot derail a physical economy. That's the whole entire thing. And here's the funny thing. Physical economies, production industrial economies, empowers the individuals and creates a middle class. And if you notice, when we've killed off our physical economy, what's also been dying along the vine? The middle class.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think that's the idea. I think it's
100% Cowboy.
So we are live every weekday, 8:30 AM EST, giving out free content. Come check us out on YouTube. Come talk to us. Go over to the website. That's www.algofactory.tech. Again, www.algofactory.tech. And for a limited time promotional offer, we are giving out memberships at $49.99 a month. There's a ton that we're offering over there. Come see what that's about. Also, you can see our Twitter link. All the links are up on YouTube. Come talk to us on social media. See us on the live YouTube videos. We hope to see you soon.